Welcome back to the channel, everybody. I am Mick Alphanim. All right, let's begin right here on FX Empire. This article is titled XRP Bulls Eye a Return to 51 cents on SEC versus Ripple Optimism. Actually, it touched 52 cents already. I was watching the charts just a little bit earlier, and it did touch 52 cents. I don't know where it is right now. Maybe it retreated a little bit. Maybe it went forward a little bit. I don't know. Things are looking good right now. There's definitely a lot of excitement. And I'll tell you this, with all these articles being written, I mean, there's been so many articles bullish with XRP. I have to consider, one, it could be genuine excitement because they know it's coming. Two, could be trying to pump it. You get what I'm saying? Just to take people's money. So I try to stay balanced in my approach, but because of that, all of these bullish articles as of late, and there's been a ton. Of course, there's going to be a little bit of price action possibly. So here it says on Monday, XRP rose by 2.4%, 2.47%, following a 2.2% gain from Sunday. XRP ended the day at 49 cents. Significantly, XRP held on to the 49-cent handle for the first time since April the 19th. Following a bearish morning, XRP fell to a late afternoon low of 47 cents before making a move, steering clear of the first major support level at 47 cents. XRP rose to a late session high of 49 cents. Like I said, when I last looked, this was about maybe an hour and a half ago. It touched 52 cents, I believe. So let's move on here to another article. I just wanted to put that on your table because it's been a very green day. It's been looking good. This article here is from U.Today, and it's titled XRP Trading Comes to This Exchange. There's a lot of news coming out today. All right, and I'm going to actually be discussing some very important news in this next members only video. So now, this article is titled XRP Trading Comes to This Exchange. It says Fulcrum Finance, a decentralized perpetual exchange, has announced that it will now support XRP trading. So there you go. You have Uphold bragging about it. And I said the other day there was another exchange, and here's the one. So now Fulcrum Finance, you can do XRP trading on there as well. It says offering leveraged positions of up to 75x. Whoa. I can't tell people to do. I would be careful with all that leverage stuff. I would be careful. This is according to a Monday tweet from the company. The trading platform has garnered attention for its unique approach to the cryptocurrency market, storing all trades and collateral on chain for maximum transparency and minimal price impact. The inclusion of XRP into its trading pairs enhances the diversity of assets available for the trading platform. In addition to offering leveraged XRP trades, Fulcrum Finance has included XRP in its Fulcrum Liquidity Pool, FLP, a multi-asset pool that earns fees from automated market making, swap fees, and leverage trading. The exchange touts a minimal fee for swapping XRP within the liquidity pool. This inclusion is expected to boost the XRP ecosystem since it brings additional utility and a potential increase in liquidity for the coin. We're going to stop right there. Once again, that's on U.Today. I'll say this once again, like I said, what's the goal here? The goal to move that XRP price is to have all the central banks possibly using XRP, a huge swath of them. Big businesses. We'll gobble up the small banks a little later. Wholesale, interbank payments. Let's get them flowing. Things like that. That's what I'm looking forward to. You know, but this is good. I mean, if people really want to get in and they simply don't want to use Uphold, now you have more exchanges, making XRP available. So let's move on to another article here. We have a lot of them to get through. This article is from I like to say though. It sounds better. TheCryptoBasic.com is titled XRP Going Up All Week. Does someone know something? I've asked myself that very question. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says, XRP has continued to record slight gains as the ongoing legal tussle between the SEC and Ripple approaches its end. Let me pause there. We also know that whales have been absolutely loading up on XRP. There's been a lot of excitement, and we've heard for a long time that a lot of large businesses are on the side. The head of SBI Remit let us know that. Whatever that CEO was from South Korea also let us know that very same thing. There were like 2 other CEOs. I can't remember who they were off the top of my head. They said they echoed the same sentiment. But I do keep open the possibility that if this case is coming to a close soon, and listen, we don't know. We don't know. But we have Brad Garlinghouse and we have, who was it? Brad Garlinghouse and someone else. Oh, Jeremy Hogan speculating that it could be a possible July time period where it may end. And that's just speculation. No one's in charge of the judge. I keep that in mind. All right. I try to stay balanced. But let's say that there is some truth to that. Could be a lot of businesses loading up little by little. Could be. And maybe that's what we're seeing here. It may not just be retail just jumping in. No, it may be like businesses, in little increments, just getting a little bit, but not enough to stir up FOMO. That's the one thing I noticed with a lot of these Bankcoin companies, the utilizers of them, as well as the Bankcoin companies. They don't like to make a lot of noise. They don't want to trigger FOMO. They don't, for a lot of different reasons. One, they don't want the SEC on their back anymore. Not XRP, but like other Bankcoins that haven't had to directly battle the SEC. They don't want the SEC spotlight on them just yet. And number 2, they don't want those prices to spike on utility coins that these businesses may be able to get for the cheap. Right? It seems to me that there may be a concerted effort, and this is just my humble opinion, there may be a concerted effort to keep those prices down until, so businesses at whichever point they choose to begin utilizing these particular technologies can just scoop them up as cheaply as possible. That's a possibility. It's not a guarantee, but it's just a possibility. It says here, XRP has continued to record slight gains as the ongoing legal tussle between the U.S. SEC and Ripple approaches its end. According to data from CoinGecko, the price of XRP is up 7.5% over the past 7 days. It is currently up 4.3% in the past 24 hours. There's been a lot of activity. The activity on chain has exploded. Very interesting times. XRP broke the 50-cent resistance earlier, rallying to a 24 high of 50 cents. Well, that we know. This is possible reasons why XRP is surging. The slight gains of XRP may surprise many. No, it doesn't surprise me at all. Number 1, I know that there is the possibility that businesses can start to buy XRP, and that people that just are XRP enthusiasts, yes, they could scrape up some more if they decide to. I think most people have what they need, but some people feel like they can never have enough XRP. I know that's possible also. I also know on the flip side, it's possible there's a lot of entities that would like to pump XRP, get people excited, and then so people can buy a little bit more, and then they take their money. This is how the pumps go, right? So you know how that goes. So I keep that in mind as well. So for context, however, XRP's recent rally may be attributed to the community's expectations of a favorable ruling in the ongoing SEC versus Ripple legal battle. But this is what I'm saying. Who is the community? Sure, there's a lot of us, just regular individuals, but there's a lot of businesses, small and big. And they can accumulate. They don't just have to accumulate all at once. No, they can have a bevy of smaller accounts or wallets and just accumulate in small increments. Who would ever know? A lot of things in business are done by proxy, by way of proxy, right? I consider that as well. And they are a part of that. They're a huge part of why XRP has the potential that it has. Huge part, right? All right. So for context, the SEC alleged that, we know what they alleged. It says, although Judge Torres has yet to rule on the case, pro-XRP lawyers, including attorneys John Deaton and Jeremy Hogan, speculate that the summary judgment decision will favor Ripple and XRP holders. I agree. According to these legal experts, the SEC failed to prove the third prong of the Howey test, quote, with profits to come solely from the efforts of others. Furthermore, there is speculation the SEC might settle with Ripple to prevent it from publicizing the drafts of the Hinman speech. That's also very, very possible, I think. And it's a great thing, that decision that we recently got from the judge. It says, recall that several cryptocurrency exchanges, including Coinbase and Kraken, delisted XRP. Yes, we know about that. All right, so now we're going to go to another article here. So this article is also from the cryptobasic.com, and it's titled, Uphold Crow, CRO, says XRP meets all legitimate criteria of exchange listing. Oh. Uphold's chief revenue officer confirms reasons to continue listing XRP on its exchange despite the lawsuit with the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission. In a recent panel discussion on tokenization, Nancy Beaton, the chief revenue officer of Uphold, a leading U.S.-based trading platform, affirmed that the XRP token meets all legitimate criteria for listing on the exchange. During the panel, Beaton discussed Uphold's rigorous listing criteria, emphasizing the company's commitment to compliance and security. You know, one of our subscribers in the comment section said that Uphold has securities licensing or something like that. So for them, it wouldn't make a difference anyway, you know. And I don't believe all exchange has that, so where they're able to sell something if it was securities. Not saying that anything is a security, not saying that. And the subscriber made that clear as well. They're not saying that either. But they were just saying that if there ever was a problem because of something like that, Uphold would not have to be concerned. Hence, other exchanges might have been a little concerned about that. I'm not sure of the particulars of what they have as far as licensing, but I'm just putting that out there. It says, she said Uphold maintains a listing committee that reviews tokens based on factors such as security audits, founders' credibility, token distribution, and other legitimate criteria. It says, interestingly, according to the CRO, approximately 70% of the tokens that seek listing on Uphold's platform do not meet its stringent standards. On the other hand, XRP checked all boxes. Regarding the decision to retain XRP on the platform despite the ongoing lawsuit, Beaton explained that Uphold prioritizes compliance and legality. While acknowledging the existence of the lawsuit, she noted that Uphold's legal counsel had found no legal precedent that would require them to delist XRP. Boom. That's good information to have. It definitely is. All right. So now let's move on here. So this article here is from U.Today, and it's titled XRP Network Experiences Historic Address Activity Over 2 Consecutive Days. And that's something I was looking at too. There's so many articles written about this. You can't avoid it. And I mean, the activity is just through the roof. So the XRP network, something's going on. Something's going on. We'll see if it leads anywhere. But so far, that price went up a little bit. Who knows? So the XRP network has recorded 2 of the highest spikes in address activity in its history over 2 consecutive days, according to blockchain analytics platform Sentiment. The data indicates a mild 4% decoupling from the rest of the altcoin pack, hinting at a possible upswing for XRP if it follows a similar trend to the activity spike it experienced on March 18th. On that occasion, XRP's price appreciated significantly in the weeks following the address activity surge. XRP currently sits at 50 cents. No, like I said, it touched 52. Once again, I want to reiterate that. On 4.2% today, exhibiting a strong 7.8% growth on the week. This mild decoupling and consecutive days of heightened address activity indicate that XRP might be gearing up for a more decisive breakout. Let me pause there. Now, if you saw the video yesterday, I believe it was the video yesterday. There are so many. I mean, we covered an article where they're talking about a bull run that's coming, right? And I've read so many articles about a coming bull run. They have all these different catalysts, of course. Maybe we're starting to see a little bit of that. Well, you know, personally, I look at catalysts like the economy, raising interest rates, the fact that a lot of liquidity went into T-bills and when those T-bills, how long those T-bills are for, things like that. The commercial real estate situation with the small banks, how long that may take to rear its head. The banks and unrealized losses. Like there's so many different factors that could affect when a bull run kicks off. But maybe, just maybe, we're beginning to see little glimpses of that. Who knows? We'll keep our eye on it. All right. So it says here, for instance, Bitcoin and Ethereum, the 2 largest cryptocurrencies by market cap, have seen relatively flat or negative comments over the past week. All right. These historical address activity spikes come at a time of increased attention to Ripple and XRP. The company has been embroiled. Oh, well, we know about that. They're going to go into the lawsuit again. Everybody has to reference it. So now we're going to go to another article here. Don't worry. I know there's a lot of XRP news. And you know what's unbelievable? I'm cutting out a lot of articles. We're going to get to some XLM Algorand news, but this article here is also from U.Today and it's titled, Ripple's new acquisition, Medico, bags global award. Let's read this little tidbit here. It says, earlier this month, blockchain payments firm Ripple Labs Incorporated announced its acquisition of Swiss crypto platform designed as an institutional custody service provider, Medico. By the way, if you enjoy any part of this video, I greatly appreciate it if you click that like button down below, and I thank you in advance. The acquisition is already shaping up to be a promising one as the subsidiary just landed a global award for innovation. Look at the prestigious air that Ripple keeps itself in. They acquire companies that are winning awards. Former head of treasury on their team, members from Swift, BlackRock. I mean, all of these. There's so many powerful and prestigious individuals and entities associated with Ripple. It's unbelievable. And I just refuse to believe they're going to do anything but fly past the moon. And that was what was interesting about that article the other day. So one article was it was talking about lift off, blast off, whatever. That's why I titled the video that. I sometimes just pull the titles from articles. And then one was talking about the moon, and they said the moon. When they referenced the moon in that last video, the video is just titled Moon. It says XRP, then I have a divider, and it says Moon. When they were talking about moon, they were talking about $2. What? And that's something I I forgot to emphasize in the video, is that I vehemently disagree with that. That's the moon? $2. Don't get me wrong, I would love to see $2. I also want to get past $2. I believe we're going to get past $2. I believe we're going to fly past $2. That's just my personal belief, not financial advice. There's not a guarantee. But the moon, the way that they're saying it, and I see a lot of articles like that, the moon, when they're saying that, they're saying $2. For XRP, what? Listen, I'm just one individual, okay? I like to hear other people's thoughts. You let me know. Do you believe the moon for XRP is $2? Now, don't get me wrong. In that article, they're saying, well, people will start buying at $1, and they may not really start to FOMO in until after $2. I give them that. But they never go past the $3 range when they're talking about the moon. It's always $2, $1, $2.50. Do you believe that that's the moon for XRP? Personally, if that's the moon, we're going intergalactic. We're going universal. We're going way past the moon. That's just personally how I feel. If everything is actuated, if all the proper catalysts come into play. So just you let me know your opinion on that. So anyway, it says, as revealed by Medico through its official Twitter account, it bagged the Digital Asset Initiative of the Year award at last week's Global Custodian Leaders in Custody Asia Awards. The firm said the award was in recognition of the unique institutional digital asset services its technology enabled a number of flagship institutions to launch on the market. It says the recognition accorded Medico is a sign that the firm has a technology certified to enable the mass adoption of digital assets by institutions. Mass adoption. One that Ripple Labs can build on. With the current legal brawl Ripple is facing with the SEC, the Medico brand and its recognition will come in handy to help its global expansionary drive in Europe and around the world. Now, keep in mind, next year, 2024, MiCA legislation rolls out. We get to play in Europe. Ripple's deep there, Stellar's deep there, Algorand's deep there. I expect 2024 to be a year of rapid growth. Just my expectation, rapid growth. Maybe some implementation of the technology. We can finally get some things up and running, right? Get some of that capital flowing. Maybe a little bit of tokenization, if not mass tokenization across the board. It's time to play. But 2024 is going to be a great year of observation And it should be a great year of progression for the bank coins in Europe anyway. All right. So now let's move on to another article here. So now we're going to get into a little bit of Stellar news. This is once again from BPV. Go check them out. They're on fire. Their website is p.bpventures.us. Check them out. There's a section titled Articles and News. Give them some traffic. Here we go. This article is titled Stellar and Mica, a match made in heaven? Question mark. Didn't I say that? I said Stellar should run wild in Europe in 2024. Let's go. Let's go. Let me calm some of my excitement down. Just my excitement. It's not financial advice. Not financial advice. I have to say that. All right. I'm simply excited. The Markets in Crypto Assets MiCA regulation introduced by the European Commission in September 2020 is a proposal aimed at providing legal framework for crypto assets within the European Union. Its objective includes ensuring legal certainty, supporting innovation and fair competition, protecting consumers, investors. We know all of this stuff here. It says MiCA regulation is set to apply from the end of 2024. Wait a minute. Are they sure about that? I need to go research this again. I could have sworn they said they're trying to roll it out first quarter of 2024. We'll get clarification on that, okay? But here it says apply from the end of 2024. We'll get clarification on that. It says, and will apply directly across the EU without any need for national implementation laws. Because the reason I paused there, because if it rolls out the end of 2024, that will push things back a little bit. But I believe it said the first quarter 2024. Well, so the regulation focuses primarily on e-money tokens, asset reference tokens, and utility tokens. Crypto assets offered to the public other than e-money tokens or asset reference tokens are also within the scope of the regulation. Issuers of crypto assets falling under MiCA are subject to obligations such as the publication of a white paper. We have that. The necessity to authorize to issue crypto assets, compliance with certain prudential rules when marketing crypto assets, and the obligation to act honestly, fairly, and professionally towards crypto asset holders. That's number one. On the other hand, Stellar, an open source and not for-profit blockchain platform, has established standards that may align with MiCA regulations. That's what I'm saying. It's not going to be a holdback. There's not a lot for us to come into compliance with. We're already compliant. We can, if they decide to, it's up to Stellar and others building on Stellar, if they want to run wild when this rolls out. And I'm all for it. It says one of these is the Stellar Ecosystem Proposal, SEP0012, also known as the Know Your Customer KYC API. This standard defines a way for Stellar clients to upload KYC information to companies bridging into Stellar called anchors and other services. It allows a customer to enter their KYC information once and use it across many services without re-entering information manually. It says the KYC API also handles image and binary data, supports the set fields defined within SEP9, and supports authentication via SEP10. Another relevant Stellar standard is SEP0008, which provides a protocol for regulated assets. Regulated assets are those that require an issuer's approval on a per transaction basis. This standard identifies such assets and defines the protocol for performing compliance checks and requesting issuer approval. Leveraging SEP8, Stellar does provide the necessary tools and protocols to issue a MiCA compliant crypto asset. However, it's crucial to note that achieving compliance with regulations such as MiCA would require not only the technical implementation of these standards, but also adhere to the specific legal and regulatory obligations outlined in MiCA regulation. Therefore, while Stellar provides the technical infrastructure to support compliance with such regulations, the actual issuance of a MiCA compliant asset on Stellar would also depend on the actions and policies of the issuing entity. It is recommended to consult with a legal expert or regulatory advisor to ensure compliance with all relevant laws and regulations, which I know all the companies will. They have pretty good legal teams, and you should always have a legal team on standby. But what this means here is that We're ready. When it rolls out, we're ready. It's just a matter of how fast the companies want to proceed. And that is great for Stellar. That is great for XLM. Let's dominate in Europe. All right, so we have a little bit more time to wait. We know this is a long hold, right? But the time is near. Time is near. All right. So now let's move on to another article here. Now, this is a little bit of Algorand news, and it's titled NFT Pay now supports Algorand blockchain. It says NFT Pay, this is from finance.yahoo.com. NFT Pay is pleased to announce that they now support the Algorand blockchain. NFT Pay allows blockchains to easily accept credit cards for their NFT projects. Staking its claim as the world's most powerful and environmentally sustainable institutional grade blockchain, Algorand has made waves in the industry by becoming the platform of choice for notable crypto projects such as Folks Finance, AlgoFi, LimeWire, Para Algo Wallet, and Prismatic. Don't forget Napster, LimeWire. They said LimeWire. My apologies. What was the other? There's another music offering that they have on there. I can't remember what it's called. It says now NFT Pay. Remember, they're also in the medical industry. You know, they also have the real estate offerings like Lofty AI, and there's another one I can't remember. Stuff like that on there. Traceability. They have a myriad of banks in Italy. Right? I mean, there's so many things. Algorand is the most balanced of the bank coins, right? So anyway, it says here, now NFT Pay is making the process of building and launching projects on Algorand even easier through its NFT payments solution. Spokesperson for NFT Pay says, quote, we are pleased to announce that creators, entrepreneurs, and artists planning on launching their NFT projects on the Algorand platform can now use NFT Pay's seamless and hassle-free payment solutions to reach an even wider audience than before. Algorand already has the trust of over 2,000 plus organizations worldwide that are working on exciting ventures to disrupt a range of industries. With Algorand integration, NFT Pay is excited to be a part of the blockchain's vision for an energy efficient and sustainable future. All right, NFT Pay's recent success stories include Citadel, a blockchain-based adventure game. That's another thing. Let me pause there. Algorand's deep in gaming as well. I mean, they're very well balanced. I expect big things out of Algorand in the future. That nothing about that has changed whatsoever at all. They continue to do great things, and I expect great things from them. I mean, if you lived through that last true bull run, you saw what Algorand can do. Multiple explosions. Go check the charts. Many of you were there. But if they did that before, I'm talking about disgusting gains. What can they do in the next bull run when they have expanded so greatly? So, all right, let's move on to another article here. So, this article is from news.bitcoin.com and it's titled Brics Bank in membership talks with Saudi Arabia. Report reveals, keep our eye on this, I'm telling you now. Says Brics Development Bank engaged in qualified dialogue with Saudi Kingdom. The Shanghai-based New Development Bank, NDB, established the BRICS nations. They go into Brazil, Russia. We know the countries. It says is in talks with Saudi Arabia on admitting the country as a member. The Financial Times reported the negotiations come as NDB prepares to evaluate its options to attract funding. During its annual meeting starting on Tuesday, affected by the penalties imposed on Russia following its redacted, the British Daily noted, quote, in the Middle East, we attach great importance to the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia and are currently engaged in a qualified dialogue with them, unquote. The New Development Bank told the newspaper in a statement with Riyadh officials were not available for comment. Saudi Arabia's accession would strengthen its ties with the world's largest developing economies on the one hand, and on the other hand, it would provide the BRICS Bank with access to funds from the world's second largest oil producer. Remember, also keep in mind that Saudi Arabia has a great part to play in the dollar being the petrodollar, right? We'll see, if any, what effect that has on, the US dollar's power. heading into the future. We're trying to stay balanced, and we're just keeping an eye on things. All right. We want to be prepared in case anything does happen. And I do believe there's a great chance that the value of the dollar over the next 10 years, probably the next 5, it depends on how rapidly this de-dollarization continues and how many countries, go full blast with dumping the dollar. But I do believe that the value of the dollar could be greatly diminished. And actually, I'm waiting for more information to come out, but there's certain information coming out of countries where there's a lot of expats, a lot of United States expats living there. And I've been hearing that the value of the dollar has decreased significantly. However, like I said, I'm waiting for more articles to correlate that fact. I don't want to just go by a few. I need at least 10 or 12 of them. I need more information from a variety of sources. That's just personally how I feel. That's how I do. So I'm keeping an eye on this type of activity is what I'm saying. So now let's move on to another article here. So this article here is from DW.com and it's titled, "Will the U.S. succeed in starving China of semiconductors?" Well, I'm going to tell you this. I want everybody to make semiconductors. From a business standpoint. I'll tell you why. Because semiconductors need silver. Simple as that, right? The more silver is used, the more of an impact that the demand for silver is going to have on silver's price. So yeah, I'm all for it. Why not? And silver is looking very bullish as far as the long term. So you want to be realistic. Silver, gold, and platinum are looking bullish into the long term. They have a variety of catalysts. But let's read this little tidbit here. It says, as the U.S. and its allies increase efforts to restrict China's access to advanced semiconductor chips, experts say the measures could impact Beijing's development, but they will also cause collateral damage to U.S. firms. China's semiconductors industry is facing renewed pressure from the United States and its allies after Japan announced on May 23rd that it would impose export restrictions on 23 types of chip-making technology, including advanced semiconductor manufacturing equipment. The measure will come into effect in July. The move comes after the U.S. and the Netherlands introduced similar measures in recent months as Washington and its allies try to limit China's access to advanced semiconductor chips and equipment. But this, you gotta keep in mind also, this also comes at the same time that there is a semiconductor race in the United States. I mean, these companies are moving at a lightning pace to dominate when it comes to semiconductors. So beneficial in that way also to cut the competition out. And just my humble opinion. Says there's a lot of money. Listen, there's a lot of money in semiconductors, right? Last October, the U.S. government introduced a series of export controls on advanced semiconductor chips. Since then, Washington has been lobbying the Netherlands and Japan to join its efforts to limit the development of China's semiconductor sector. It says, how did China react to the move? In a statement, spokesperson for the China Commerce Department said Beijing, quote, strongly opposed Tokyo's decision to impose export control on items related to advanced semiconductor manufacturing, saying the move goes against free trade and international trade regulations and its abuse of an export control measure. Okay, we're going to stop right there. Once again, like I said, my interest in semiconductors is in correlation with any stocks that are semiconductor related, as well as commodities that are semiconductor related, like silver, right? Good conductor of energy. All right, so now let's move on to another article here. So this article is from forexlive.com and it's titled, "The Dollar Stutters After Bullish Start to the Day." Good. when the dollar is down, did you see the DXY was a little bit red today? But when the dollar goes down, then everything else can run. Everything else can breathe a little bit, right? There's the possibility, at least. When the dollar is strong, it crushes everything else. So, yeah, that's pretty good. It says the greenback has gradually erased its early advance in European trading and now is much lower across the board. The EUR/USD is up 0.3% to the 1.07 and contesting its 100-hour moving average, with the USD/JPY back down to 140 after briefly recovering to 140.65 earlier. The pound is the biggest beneficiary though, with GBP/USD now back above 1.24, and even seeing a notable reversal in near-term sentiment. It says over the last few weeks, cable has struggled to break free of its 100 red line and 200-hour blue line moving averages, but is managing just that in European trading today. The jump is seeing buyers regain near-term control after having neared a test of its 100-day moving average last week. That key level is now seen at 1.22. Given the turnaround, cable buyers might have room to work with back towards 1.25. Okay, we're going to stop right there to go into a little bit about treasury yields. They had a lot of good articles on forexlive.com today. Make sure you check them out, give them some traffic over there. All right, so now let's move on to another article. We're getting to the end of the video now. So we're trying to keep up with housing, mortgage rates. We're trying to keep up with commercial real estate. We're trying to keep up with these things here. They have a great effect on literally everything. So this article here is from cnet.com, and it's titled Current Mortgage Rates for May 29, 2023. Rates go up. It says this week, a handful of important mortgage rates climbed higher. If you're shopping for a home loan, see how your payments might be affected by interest rate hikes. It says the average interest rates for both 15-year fixed and 30-year fixed mortgages both saw increases. We also saw an upward trend in the average rate of 5/1 adjustable rate mortgages. On the heels of cooling inflation, really? The Federal Reserve announced, sometimes it just takes a subtle look. What? Oh, man. The Federal Reserve announced on May 3rd a 25 basis point increase to its benchmark short-term interest rate. The Fed's May meeting marks what could be the last increase we see for the time being. If they do that, in my opinion, it's disastrous. If they pause in June like they said, then inflation can go higher. That's personally how I feel. I don't know why you would. Get the job done. However, I have been hearing about certain information, certain data that has come out that has prompted most of the Fed to say, hey, we probably should continue to raise rates in June as well and not take a pause. But we will see how this all plays out. It says the Fed's May meeting marks what could be the last increase we see for the time being. We'll see about that. The central bank has signaled that it may soon be time to pause on rate hikes. Depending on incoming inflation data, the next step would be to hold rates where they are for an extended period of time in order to bring inflation down to its 2% target. As long as inflation continues to trend downward, experts say a pause in rate hikes from the Fed could bring some stability to today's volatile mortgage rate market. Mortgages hit a 20-year high in late 2022, my word. It says but now the macroeconomic environment is changing again. Rates dipped significantly in January before climbing back up in February. Through March and April, rates fluctuated in the 6% range. All right, we're going to stop right there. This is a great article here on cnet.com. All right. You want to read the rest, and this is a long article. This is jam-packed with information. They have a section here on 30-year fixed rate mortgages, 15-year fixed rate mortgages. Once again, this article is titled Current Mortgage Rates for May 29, 2023. Rates go up. All right. So now let's move on. We're going to close out here with a little bit of gold news. I love gold. I do. You know, I know we talk spot prices a lot, but the bullion, solid bullion, I'm into both. All right. All types of gold, silver, platinum. All right. But I like the solid stuff. Right. Gold is obviously a long-term hold. Long-term, it is bullish. But this article is titled, that's just my humble opinion. This article is titled, Iraqi Central Bank increases gold reserves by 2% in one day. So these banks continue to gobble up gold. Meanwhile, the mainstream is quiet. Shh, they're quiet. They don't tell the regular people this. Regular people just have their money in the banks. That's questionable. Sitting on cash, that could be greatly devalued, losing a little bit of value now as we speak. But the banks just gobbling up all the gold. Why? There's a reason why. Since the precious metal has become a key investment for central banks, of course, they've been accumulating gold at record rates, at historic rates. Oh, they got a picture of gold. I love to see this gold. I love the gold bars. Yes, I do. Says the Central Bank of Iraq, my apologies, Iraq increased the country's gold reserves by 2% on 25th of May as it seeks to gradually build its stock. The country bought 2.5 tons of bullion, holy smokes, or high purity gold, which brings the nation's overall reserves to a total of 132.7 tons. Quote, our current plan is to buy small quantity. That's a small quantity? All right, whoa. To buy small quantity over multiple times, not a big quantity in one go, Mazen Sabah, Director General of the Central Bank's Investments Department, told Bloomberg. The move comes as several countries are expanding their bullion resources amid geopolitical and economic uncertainty. Exactly. That's what I've been saying. And once again, they don't tell the regular people this at all. Most people don't have any gold at all. None. To each his own. That is unbelievable to me. It says the move comes, and people can do whatever they want. Just my opinion. Diversification is important to protect one's capital, in my humble opinion, over the long term. So the move comes as several countries. Okay, we read that part. The world's central banks more than doubled their gold buying in 2022. Adding 228 tons in the first quarter of that year. Iraq resumed gold purchases in 2022, having stopped for 4 years. But nobody can stop now because of fiat currency. Looks like maybe the next 10 years to 15, fiat currency may be done for. They want to roll out CBDC, so they're trying. A lot of countries are trying to force the shirking of cash, right? People are looking for something that could be trusted and hold its value over a long time where they can store their value. So anyway, it says last June, the central bank bought 34 tons of gold, a one-time increase of 35% in its holdings. This is from Bloomberg's report. Gold as a, quote, long-term strategic asset. Let's see what they have to say. Gold, which is more appealing to investors when rates are low, saw dramatic price drops earlier this year. And it's third. Well, we were at all-time highs. When we started covering gold, it was like last year sometime last year, it was super low. We're sitting pretty right now. It went, and then it skyrocketed because of all the drama that happened within the global economy, mostly the United States economy, all these banks failing. Then everybody ran to gold, which possible to happen again. That's possible, not a guarantee. So yeah, of course, prices, of course, they're going to come down a little bit. At that particular spot price is going to come down a little bit, but long term, gold's super bullish. And like I said, it's nowhere near where it was before. It's still up very, very high. So anyway, let's continue on here. It says earlier this year, and just check the charts. It says its third consecutive weekly loss earlier this month. According to a report from the World Gold Council earlier this month, gold demand from central banks fell to 228 tons in the first quarter, down by 40% from the preceding months. But you have to take into account the massive amount that they accumulated in 2022. It says, quote, against the backdrop of turmoil in the banking sector, like I said, there may be more to come. Remember the unrealized losses hanging over their head. Remember the commercial real estate loans hanging over their head. And remember that the Fed is literally telling the small banks, hey, if something happens, we can't help you. Yep, we can't help you. There's going to be turmoil. And then what happens? The people with those small banks go under. They said there's up to 900 at risk. And they keep reevaluating that number. It started at 200, then it was 300. Now they're saying 900. We'll see what happens. I mean, numbers are all over the place. If any of them go down, that's going to create panic, and the people are going to retreat to two places. One, they're going to put some of their money in the larger banks again. More deposit retreating from the small banks to the large. Then also, these are just possibilities, not guarantees. But also they're going to retreat to where? Gold, just like they did before. But we will see. So it says, against the backdrop of turmoil in the banking sector, ongoing geopolitical tensions, and a challenging economic environment, gold's role as a safe haven asset has come to the forefront, unquote, said Lewis Street, senior markets analyst at the World Gold Council. All right. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, let's get to the money.